Welcome to Hockey Wiz Talks podcast. Today I'll be talking about defensemen to trade for and add in fantasy hockey. In this podcast, I talk about defensemen to trade for and add in fantasy hockey. Defensemen to trade for in fantasy hockey. John Klingberg. John Klingberg has had a disappointing start to the season. He has 0 goals and 10 assists along with 4 power play points and is a -9 so far this year. It would be a good idea to trade for Klingberg while his value is low, since Klingberg is typically a 30 to 40 point defenseman. Mark Giordano. Mark Giordano has struggled out of the gate this season with the Seattle Kraken, only putting up 8 points, 3 power play points, and is a -8 so far this year. Even though Giordano is the captain of the Kraken, he could be moved before the deadline, so it would be smart to trade for him while his value is low. Chychrun. Chychrun is currently out with an upper body injury, but before being injured, he was playing terribly, only tallying 7 points and was a -29. Arizona is likely to trade any asset they have currently, so Chychrun is a player who could be on the move before the deadline. A change in scenery would instantly boost his fantasy value, so grab him while his value is low. Krug. Krug is known for being a power play specialist, but since coming off the COVID list, Krug only has 3 points and 1 power play point. Krug will not be in this slump forever, so it would be a smart idea to trade for him while his value isn't high. And now a word from our sponsor. Check out my scouting blog at hockeywiz777scouting.com. Listen to my scouting blog podcast on anchor.fm/hockeywiz777scouting. Defenseman to add in fantasy hockey. Erik Johnson. Erik Johnson has been brilliant with the Colorado Avalanche in the last month of the season. He has 2 goals, 7 points, and is a +9 along with 28 shots, 26 hits, and 24 blocks in that time span. Erik Johnson will get more playing time now with Sam Girard out. Don't hesitate to pick him up. Noah Dobson. Noah Dobson is on a 3-game point streak right now, and with the absence of Ryan Pulock, he is getting a chance to play on the first power play unit. With a bigger role on the team, look for Dobson's fantasy value to rise as the season goes on. Adam Larson. Although Adam Larson doesn't put up a lot of points and has a bad plus-minus, he has been playing a lot better of late and is always a reliable source of hits and blocks. Don't hesitate to use an ad on him. Josh Manson. Josh Manson has been a real solid defenseman for the Anaheim Ducks in the last 2 weeks, putting up 2 goals, 4 points, along with 22 hits, 8 blocks, and a +2 rating. Manson puts up solid stats in all categories and would be a nice addition in leagues that count hits. Check out my hockey blog at hockeywiztalkshockey.blogspot.com. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram at hockeywiz777. Tips for defenseman transactions. Trade for defensemen with slow starts, trade for defensemen who are injured, and trade for defensemen who could be traded at the deadline. Add defensemen who get stats in garbage categories such as hits and blocks, add defensemen on hot streaks, and add defensemen with good plus-minuses. In my next podcast, I talk about centers to trade for and add in fantasy hockey.